Hey everyone, it is Dani'i and welcome to this video. Starting today on the 13th of February, I will be doing countdown videos towards the hurricane season on a weekly basis. So I will be giving updates for the week based on what our models are showing, as well as any updates regarding the hurricane season. So as we know, the hurricane season is pretty far out. I mean, the time is moving by so quickly, so in no time we will be in June. So I'll start giving updates on a regular here for the Caribbean basin. And so before I go into details, okay, so first up, we're taking a look at the current satellite imagery, and we do have a cold front that is making its way down, and actually this is bringing some cooler than normal temperatures to portions of Central America, the South and Eastern US, as well as some sections of the Northwestern Caribbean. So this could result in maybe some intermittent showers, nothing very major right now, as we can see no spots of a very deep convection. So where you see those green and those blue shades, that doesn't indicate that a whole lot is going on. But as if you were seeing darker colors such as that dark orange or that red shade, that is when we have very deep convection. And so we have some moisture, however, making its way into the Caribbean, coming in from the Atlantic. And aside from that, nothing very major as of right now. However, we will be taking a look at total precipitation amounts that are expected, as well as the ocean temperatures and that dry air as we go further down into this video. Alright, so first things first, let's take a look at what the GFS model is predicting in terms of the precipitation. And so this is a map that is showing the isobars, but really here we're not really focusing on the lines that you see all around. We're kind of focusing more on the shaded areas where you have the green shades. That is where we're focusing on. And we're seeing that as of right now, we don't have anything major. As I said, we have that cold front that is offshore of the east coast of the US. And as we progress into this week, though, we will have more moisture streaming into the region, and it might bring some rainfall here and there to various islands of the Caribbean. And so this, by Thursday, it's actually going to be fueling a major storm that is expected to develop into the US, a major winter storm that's going to make its way to the northeast. So if you look closely at this, you can kind of see where we have that direction. So we have that moisture making its way into the US, and that is going to be fueling our system, because again, heat and moisture are the main ingredients when it comes on to us having major storms developing as what is expected in the US. And if we take a wider view of the Atlantic basin by Friday of this week, we're seeing here that we have a 981 millibar low pressure system that is all the way up into the northeast, and we have all of that severe weather associated with it taking place in portions of the southeastern US, and a lot of precipitation up into the northeast. So the US definitely has something in store for as we're going to be progressing into the latter part of this week. However, as we go 1 week out fully to Sunday on the 20th of February, we're seeing here that we have another cold front that is expected. So this is actually going to be associated with that major winter storm, because usually we have cold fronts that develop from them, and they make their way down to the southeast and bring along with them cooler than normal temperatures, rainfall, maybe some windy conditions. But as this thing is going to be making its way down, it is going to be dissipating. But guys, things can change a lot. I mean, 7 days in advance is quite a bit of time, so we might have some changes here and there, but that is generally what the GFS model is anticipating. And so now let's go ahead and take a look at the total accumulated precipitation that is anticipated for the Caribbean region. When you take a look to your extreme right on the screen, you can see which values each color represents, or each shade represents. And so we're seeing that we have some heavier precipitation, or more totals expected in sections of Central America than the rest of the Caribbean region, especially just off the southern portion of Belize and in portions of Guatemala and Honduras as well. And as we even go further down into the southern countries of Central America, we're seeing that those areas are definitely expected to have more precipitation precipitation amounts, where you have that light purple shade, that lilac shade. But as for the rest of the region, for the Greater Antilles, we're talking about maybe half-inch of total rainfall between now and next Sunday. And for the Lesser Antilles, maybe just an inch of rainfall that is going to be anticipated. Of course, some areas might experience a little bit more, a little bit less precipitation, but this is generally what is expected. And then as for the US, of course, we're going to have that major storm system developing, which is going to be resulting in a lot of precipitation, especially for the eastern and southeastern portions of the country. And so that is basically it for the total accumulated precipitation amount. And so next, let's go ahead and take a look at that dry air map. So here we have this mass of dry air that is actually making its way further to the west. And so we have the different colors that indicate how dense we have that dry air being, or how much is there in abundance in the region. And so when we have the light yellow shade, that does not indicate that we have a whole lot of dry air present. However, the dark orange going to that red, that is when we have a lot of dry air in abundance. And so we're seeing that this is really blanketing the region. So dry air really helps to inhibit the development of a whole lot of moisture. And so we're currently in the dry season, by the way. The wet season is usually going down to May, June, and further down into the year during the latter part of the hurricane season. And so next, let's finally take a look at the sea surface temperature map. And so we have this the different numbers that you're seeing here are in degrees Celsius, and of course, the higher the temperature, the more warmth and moisture is present. And we're seeing that for the Caribbean, we are in the tropics, so of course it's going to be warm. It is warm all year round, so we're seeing maybe mainly 27 to 28 degrees Celsius in these regions, and the Gulf of Mexico is slowly warming up as we're going to be heading to the hurricane season. So as time progresses, things are pretty quiet right now. No tropical cyclones are expected, at least for the next couple of weeks. But of course, as we head closer and closer to the hurricane season, there's going to be more of a probability of us having a development of systems even before the start of the season. Because I mean, last year, the 2021 season made last year the 7th consecutive where we have pre-season development, all going back to the 2015 Atlantic hurricane season. And so the World Meteorological Organization was actually considering moving the start date of the season from June 1st all the way up 2 weeks prior to that, which would be on the 15th of May. And the 15th also begins the Eastern Pacific hurricane season. So maybe that will come back into discussion. And so guys, that is really it for right now. So as I said, nothing very major, and this is just a general update of what is going on. And if we have updates about the hurricane season, I will be sure to let you know in future videos. So again, I will be doing these videos every week, giving an outlook at what to expect for the Caribbean region on a whole as we count down to the hurricane season. And so guys, that is it for this video, and if you found it to be quite informative, please give a thumbs up, and you can also share thoughts with me in the comments or ask a question. I will try to respond as best and as soon as I can, and so remember to always be weatherwise.